Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Bible Study. I'm so glad that you are able to join us today. We are continuing our series on cultivating helpful relationships. Cultivating helpful relationships. And there are three levels of relationships. There are three levels of relationships. We all need godly relationships in our lives. You are not created to be an island. You need to connect with people. We all need godly relationships in our lives. And in relationships, there are three levels of relationships. The first level, people below you. People below you. The second level, people at your level. And three, people above you. You need to connect at these three levels of relationships. One, people below you. Two, people at your level. And three, people above you. But today we're going to concentrate on relating with people below you. Now, people below you are people that you are above, either in age or status. They are people that you are above, either in age or status. You need these people in your life, and you cannot afford to look down on them. So there are people who look down on other people. They say, hey, I'm older than you. Hey, I'm higher than you when it comes to economic status, and all of that. Yes, you may be higher than them. Yes, you may be older than them, but you need them in your life. So make it a principle not to look down on people. And today we are looking at, the life of Naaman. Naaman. You see that Naaman was a general, in the Syrian army. And of course, we all know that Naaman was a leper. He was a leper. But do you realize that the person who brought a solution for the leprosy of Naaman was a maid? Naaman's wife's maid was the person that brought the information that cured Naaman of leprosy. Let's look at 2 Kings chapter 5 from verse 1 to 8. 2 Kings 5, 1 to 8. Now Naaman, captain of the host of the king of Syria, was a great man with his master and honorable, because by him the Lord had given deliverance unto Syria. He was also a mighty man in valor, but he was a leper. And the Syrians had gone out by companies and had brought away captive out of the land of Israel a little maid, and she waited on Naaman's wife. And she said unto her mistress, would God my Lord were with the prophet that is in Samaria, for he would recover him of his leprosy. And one went in and told his Lord, saying, thus and thus said the maid that is of the land of Israel. And the king of Syria said, go, and I will send a letter unto the king of Israel. And he departed and took with him 10 talents of silver and 6,000 pieces of gold and 10 changes of raiment. And they brought the letter to the king of Israel, saying, now when this letter is come unto thee, behold, I have therewith sent Naaman my servant to thee, that thou mayest recover him of his leprosy. And it came to pass when the king of Israel had read the letter, that he rent his clothes and said, am I God to kill and to make alive, that this man doth send unto me to recover a man of his leprosy? Wherefore consider, I pray you, and see how he seeketh a quarrel against me. And it was so, when Elisha, the man of God, had heard that the king of Israel had rent his clothes, that he sent to the king, saying, wherefore hast thou rent thy clothes? Let him come now to me, and they shall know that there is a prophet in Israel. So the point here is that Naaman and his wife had a good relationship with their maid. Naaman and his wife had a good relationship with their maid. They didn't say, oh, that was a maid. Now, for that maid to have the confidence to even talk to Naaman's wife. Most of the time, when you are the wife of an army general, you have this air around you, and then maids can't talk to you. But it was not the same with Naaman's wife. Naaman's wife opened herself up, and she gave access to this maid. So much so that the maid could reach her. The maid was not fearful. That means that the atmosphere, the climate was not a climate of fear. The maid could come and suggest something that, oh, I wish that my master could go to Israel. There's a prophet there that can pray for him and cure him of his leprosy. So we see a relationship between Naaman's wife and her maid. And we also see a relationship between Naaman and that particular maid. Because imagine, how come the maid was thinking about Naaman? If Naaman was not nice to this maid, then the maid wouldn't have been thinking about him. But because he was nice, the maid was touched by the infirmity and by what Naaman was going through. How can an army general have leprosy? I think I have a suggestion that can, bring a solution to this thing. And that was why she was able to provide that solution. So you see, you need people below you. Don't look down on anybody. You need people below you. And still on the story of Naaman. Eventually, when Naaman got to, Elisha told him, Elisha said, well, what you need to do, in fact, Elisha did not come out to see Naaman. Elisha sent one of his servants and said, tell him that he should go and bathe in the river Jordan. He should dip himself in the river Jordan 7 times. 7 times. Now, Naaman felt that that was an insult. How can the prophet tell me, to go and bathe myself in river Jordan? Are there not, better rivers where I come from? Let's look at that account in Second Kings chapter 5, and let's see it from verse 19. From verse 19. So Naaman came with his horses and with his chariot and stood at the door of the house of Elisha. And Elisha sent a messenger unto him, saying, go and wash in Jordan 7 times, and thy flesh shall come again to thee, and thou shalt be clean. But Naaman was wroth, that is, he was angry, and went away and said, behold, I thought, it will surely come out to me and stand and call on the name of the Lord his God, and strike his hand over the place and recover the leper. Are not Abana and Pharpar, rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? May I not wash in them and be clean? So he turned and went away in a rage. So when the prophet told Naaman what he was going to do through that messenger, Naaman was angry. He felt it was an insult, for the prophet, one, not to come out to see him, a whole army general, and number two, for the prophet to tell him, to demean himself by going to wash in River Jordan. But you see, something happened. Something happened. In that rage that Naaman was in, his servants could approach him. His servants could approach him. And you see, that's a lesson. That means that Naaman was so open-hearted, even though he was in a rage, even though he was, an army general, he was a commander. His servants did not have that fear of him, like, we can't talk to him. We can't talk to him. They felt that, okay, they could actually talk to him and advise him. And that tells you something about the character of Naaman. That yes, even though, the pride of being an army general was there by virtue of his rank, he still had some level of humility to be able to relate with his servants. Now, what did the servants say? And the servants came there and spake unto him and said, my father, if the prophet had bid thee do some great things. Can you imagine how his servant spoke to him? My father, if the prophet had bid thee do some great thing, wouldst thou not have done it? How much rather then, when he said to thee, wash and be clean? This was a servant talking to his master and saying, master, please, you need to go and do this. You need to swallow your pride. You need to go and wash in Jordan. And Naaman listened. Naaman listened. Sometimes people below you have things to tell you. People that you are above have things to tell you. You need to have a listening ear. Listen to the people below you. They can have information that will help you. They can have information that will save your life. Don't look down on anybody. And look at what happened to Naaman. Then went he down and dipped himself 7 times in Jordan, according to the saying of the man of God, and his flesh came again like unto the flesh of a little child, and it was clean. It was clean. Naaman got his miracle. 1, because a maid gave a suggestion and they did not discountenance the suggestion of that maid. 2, because when Elisha told him what to do and he was angry. His servant spoke and he listened to his servants. The main lesson in today's study is, one, don't look down on anybody, especially those who are below you. Don't look down on them. Love, respect, honor, and listen to people under you. Be good to them. Be good to people. Someone is staying with you in the house. There's a maid in the house. Be good to her. You can never tell. Be good to him. You can never tell what these people are going to become tomorrow. Love, respect, honor, and listen to people under you. Be good to them. They are human beings like you. Be humane to them. You are a brother and you have younger sisters, you have younger brothers. Be good to them. Don't fight them. Don't say, oh, I'm your big brother, I'm your big sister, I lord it over you. No, be good to them. Be humane. You can never tell the benefit you will get from them. I believe that somebody has been blessed by this study today. I remain Pastor Prospaola, and I pastor Life Chapel Mokola, Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. Follow us on all our social media handles. Until I see you next week, stay blossoming in Christ. Bye for now.